I didn't like though, and I know a lot of people will agree with me on this.
Okay.
I can tell you know where I'm going with it now, as I the Taskmaster reveal was a letdown.
Oh, you didn't like it, really?
Didn't like it. It wasn't just that I didn't like it. It was that it was that that's such a I don't want to say it's not a Thanos level villain, but it's
Right.
not necessarily a small minor character either from the comics, right? Like I would say it's Taskmaster is more of a like a Deathstroke, I suppose, right? If
Yeah.
you
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of
like a,
what. Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty much the same, yeah, the same character, but like it's a he, whatever, um, is a bigger character, and you just didn't feel that translate on the screen in this movie. It felt like a vehicle for this bigger boss, whereas Taskmaster could have been a major villain on her own.
Okay. I guess I don't know. I like the Taskmaster reveal. I see your points. I thought it was cool. I thought I don't know. It was she looked intimidating. It made sense that she would have a huge grudge against Natasha, and I think that they could have played her. I think they could have done a little bit better. I don't think she necessarily needed to be um, as controlled
That's another
by
gripe. Yes.
Dreykov. I think that if she had had a mind of her own, she could have been a better villain, I guess. But like as far as her identity, like or as far as Taskmaster's identity, I thought that that was kind of a cool reveal.
Yeah, it was fine. I don't know. I don't know. But I think that that would be my biggest gripe is the mind controlled aspect. It's like yeah. Imagine if Mr. Freeze was mind controlled, or it's like
Yeah.
Taskmaster on her own, his in the comics, her own is perfectly fine on her own.
It's also the third time in a row that the MCU has led us to believe that a villain was a male character and turned out to be a female character. Falcon and the Winter Soldier with the power broker, Loki with Sylvie, and
Yeah.
now Taskmaster.
Well, I think most people were expecting Sylvie to be Sylvie, or not Sylvie to be Sylvie, but Sylvie to be Lady Loki.
Sure, yeah.
Because we knew Sophia Di Martino was going to be in the show, so I think, and she hadn't been shown yet. So I think, but you're right. You are right. They did set it up to where it's going to be a Loki, and then oh no, it's a female.
Yeah.
And I think even with Sharon Carter, sure, but we also thought that it could be her early on as well. And they did set it up that this is going to be a man, and then it turned out to be a female. I think this is different because this is a character that from the comics historically has been a man,
Yeah.
and they just made it a woman for some reason. I don't know. And like I'm all for female representation.
Oh
I
yeah, for
wanted a
sure.
Black Widow movie, right? So like I obviously have no problem with female lead characters. I just it it feels forced when you take an existing character and you
Hmm.
change their identity for the sake of doing it.
Well,
And I
I think that with this reveal, the power, like the power, the emotion, the all of what makes the reveal good is that it's a character who you thought was dead, not necessarily that it's a woman character. You know what I mean?
yeah, and I mean, sure, it was like when I did get the reveal, it's like, oh crap, that's right, she's dead. But and that's such a uh, I don't want to say stereotypical, but an obvious trope that is done to death. I think in movies, the like
Hmm.
this person was dead, but not really. It's not a very creative thing. Not that that's necessarily a gripe. I don't know. I was shocked.
Hmm.
I would actually equate it to Ray as a Palpatine when
Oh wow.
when they did the Ray as a Palpatine in the theater. I was like, oh my god! And then the more I sat with it, I was like, I hate this. I don't like this at all. And not that I
Yeah,
hate this reveal. I don't really hate. It was just it's just underwhelming. I felt. I don't know.
I gotcha.
I don't want to make it sound like I'm mad that Taskmaster is a woman, even though that feels like an unnecessary thing. I think that you could have done all of what they've done, just not make it be this existing character,
Hmm.
right?
They
Like
could have even
it
had. Go ahead.
could have been like a hooded figure, or like your identity is hidden, and then
Yeah.
oh crap, there she is. Because that's not Taskmaster's backstory either.
Hmm.
It's not like
Pretty much exactly what I was thinking. Yeah, they could have had Taskmaster be his own, and also
yeah,
had a reveal where Dracov's daughter is still alive and she's, a widow.
exactly. Yeah, like it feels like having Taskmaster in here is unnecessary, and you could have just saved that character for something else, or you could have had him in here along with Dracov and his daughter, or something, right? But I will say it is cool that Taskmaster is, I guess, alive, and we may see more of her. A
Yeah.
lot of people speculated that she might even be a part of the Dark Avengers team that we may see, which could be
Ooh,
interesting
I hadn't thought about
with,
that. That'd be really
Yelena.
cool.
Yeah, so I think that to me was my biggest thing. But I will say that the Taskmaster scenes up until that, and even afterwards, some of the fighting was some of the best parts of the movie, especially when Natasha is driving and gets blindsided and is fighting Taskmaster on that highway. And I think is it Sweden?
I think it's Norway.
Norway. Yeah, I think that was one of the cooler scenes for me too.